Okay, this evening we are going to do a taste test between grass-fed beef and grain-fed beef. This is grass-fed beef that we've raised right here on our own farm, and this is grain-fed beef raised by our farmer who raises grain-fed beef for our butcher shop. For this taste test, I'm going to have my family and a few friends to help out, because at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter what the expert judges say, but whether your friends and your family enjoys the beef. So you can see this grass-fed beef here is a lot leaner, and here's the grain-fed beef, and it has got a lot more fat on. Now, even with that, every beef is going to be different, and so sometimes you'll find a grass-fed beef that's a little fatter, and sometimes a grain-fed beef that's a little less fat. But as a general rule, the grain-fed is going to have more fat on it and be more marbled, and the grass-fed is generally going to be more lean and less marbled. So when it comes to seasoning steak, tonight we're just going to do the basics: a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. I'm not for all the fancy seasoning so much. I enjoy some of that, but sometimes less is more when it comes to grilling beef. So a little bit of black pepper, a little bit of salt. To me, you're getting close to some really good eating there. Okay, so here we've got our 2 ribeyes that are grass-fed and 2 ribeyes that are grain-fed. So we're going to get these things on the fire. Here's our grain-fed ribeye, another grain-fed ribeye, and our grass-fed ribeye. So while this is cooking here, I'm going to tell you about my experience with grain-fed beef and grass-fed beef. It seems that most people who are really after the most tender and juicy meats tend to lean towards grain-fed, and then those who are after the more healthy meat tend towards the grass-fed. For instance, WebMD says that grass-fed beef has up to 6 times more heart-healthy omega-3 fatty acids than regular grain-fed beef. Okay, I think these things are ready to flip. We're going to flip these grain-fed ones here first.
That's a little bit perfect.
Okay, I think these are done enough. We're going to get them off the fire here. Certainly not overdone there. Okay, Philip, why don't you come offer your impressions here of the flavors. Do you know which one is which?
I have not passed my judgment yet.
Okay, so here's one of them, and here's the other.
Good.
Do you want to give
Way more tender right here.
This one is. Okay. How about flavor?
Not sure.
Some good steak.
Just give me a small piece.
All right. How about that?
Fine, yep.
All right. Here's one. Okay. Here's the other.
I'll say the flavor.
Michael, why don't you come over here and try one of these and give me your thoughts? I'm gonna try one myself. There you go.
That for carnivore guy right here, this is which I'm good for is the fat.
There's some tremendous steak.
That's
That was
really
the first
good.
piece.
That's real
Okay,
tasty.
the first piece you said was
Real
okay.
Really
tasty,
good,
real-
tasty.
But I haven't tried the second one yet.
Let's see what this one's like.
Wow, that is super good. More of the grass fed here if you don't mind.
Whoop! Let's try all the bag. Here, go try this one. Tell me which one's your favorite then.
Actually, it's very tasty. Good flavor, but not quite as tender. Not quite as
Caitlin, you want to come try one? Tell us
Sweet
which
of
one
a
your
flavor.
favorite is.
I'll take the second one.
You'll take and based on what?
It is the texture. The first one has a little bit of a stronger flavor. Very good.
Yep.
Probably in the long run better for you.
Okay.
I don't know which is which yet. But the
Stronger?
second one was easier to chew. It
More
was
tender,
very
maybe.
tender, very good, and a milder flavor.
Yep. And what was your impression, Anna?
I'd say the first one had more flavor,
More flavor, okay.
and the second one maybe more tender and
Yep.
not quite as much flavor.
Okay. Try this one here. Tell me,
Well,
you
that's
try
what
first.
I said. It had more flavor, but
Yep. Michael, which one did you like, the first or the second better?
A strong beef flavor.
First.
You like the first. Okay, did you want to try some? Why don't you try some? I can't stop trying.
That is good.
I know
Give me a
what I
small
like
piece of
that.
this.
I like.
The second one, just a little corner.
All right.
I'll take some of that fat if you want to get rid of it.
Really? Now, John brings up a good point here. Fat is where the flavor's at.
Mm-hmm.
Here, have some more of that. Oh, I was hurt, but I'll get you some fat here in a minute. All right.
Wow, that's super good.
Here you go.
This is a piece.
Try that
like
one.
that.
And that's the first one. Tell me
I'm not
which
a
you like, the
steak-
first one or the second one
So
better.
sorry.
I like
But
the second
I
one.
just
You like the second
37
one?
years of not having much steak. That's rough. I'm sorry.
There's the
Welcome
second one.
home,
Try that.
I
please.
don't know how to do it.
Jedi, would you like a piece?
Yeah.
Why don't you come over here and tell me which one's your favorite? Now, here's a big piece of
Second
fat.
one.
No.
Second one.
You think the second one? That's called bias right there. Try the first one and see how it is. There's a piece of fat for you, John. Fat's where the flavor's at.
It's true.
And now here's the second one.
Listening to Philip talking about the carnivore diet
Yeah.
made me choose some.
I see. So he's influencing you.
Here is where. Oh my. My turn
Yeah.
to go. See that here?
Eat that.
Oh,
Eat that down.
of course.
Bro.
Okay, what was the best? What was your preference?
Wow.
Second one, which was grain fed. She prefers the grain fed. Which
I
one
knew
do you
it was
prefer?
good.
Okay, which one did you prefer? Grain fed. Oh my. Which one did you prefer?
Grain fed. Now, as far as tenderness,
As far as tenderness, but if you were
Health benefit?
if you were
But which one's which now? I don't even know. That one's
the first one you had was grass fed.
really.
Yep. Second one was grain fed.
Well, I would take the grass probably.
Okay, Ammon prefers the grass. Okay.
I mean, if you give me another piece, I'll tell you for sure. Just a small piece.
I like
not-
that one best.
Yeah. Okay, that's grass fed. Yeah.
it's honestly good.
They're both. They're honestly. They're both.
both
They're
good.
both amazing. Caitlin, step over here. They're both amazing, really. So you can't go wrong either way. So if you're looking for more either healthy omega-3s, consider the grass-fed, and for the maybe the more fattier, more tender options,
Juicy.
and juiciest of all,
Tender.
choose the grain-fed. All right, now Aiyah swapped places with me. She's gonna try one out. Why don't you try that one first, and it's the grass-fed one, and then try a bit of the grain-fed.
Is this a different one?
Yeah,
I like
that's
this
the grain-fed
one.
one there. Why don't you tell us about what you think about that one?
The grass-fed one.
You like the grass-fed better? Okay.
Wow.
As you could tell by watching, beef option number 1 was the grass-fed and beef 2 was the grain-fed. And here is what the results were. The first one, which was the grass-fed, 2 children voted for that and 1 adult. The second one, which was the grain-fed, 1 of the children voted for that and 2 adults. And then myself and my brother Philip were split because we know the tenderness and the mildness and the sweetness of the grain-fed. We also enjoy the beefiness and flavor of the grass-fed, but the fact that it tends to be more healthy influences us. Now the youngest one did choose the grain-fed, but he chose that before he tasted it, so I'm going to think that was probably a little bit of bias there. So there you have it. At the end of the day, if you're one who's after the most healthy option, then I recommend the grass-fed. If you're looking for the most mild flavor and fat and tenderness, then I recommend the grain-fed. I hope this taste test helps you in your decision making. Whenever you're ready to order that beef, whichever way you go, just give us a call or text us at 606-722-0211. We hope to speak with you shortly. Let's meet up.